Can you guys share a little bit about kind of how, so these two sisters are like, they have such a unique, special bond, um, about, when Jen was having a hard time and then reached out to you, Jill, and kind of how this university made this happen?
So my story, I was in Alabama at the time because I had gone there for a marriage that ended up not working out. And I'm a nurse and I had been working at the hospitals. And I realized I was probably, my time was coming where I was going to be losing my nursing license because I had a hard time conforming to the way that we were doing medicine. It was just always pills and, treating symptoms. Yeah, just treating symptoms, covering up symptoms, actually, not treating them, just covering them up.
Welcome to Western healthcare.
Yeah, right.
So I became disenchanted and knew I needed to figure out something else to really get to the root cause. So I actually started looking for jobs, potentially working with like a holistic doctor or something that incorporated more of, the whole body approach. When I came across this, it was from a couple therapists that were doing it out there. And I actually didn't even know what I was going to interview for, but I knew that it was for alternative medicine and that was right up my alley. So, or I thought it was. And anyways, once I was introduced to it, I couldn't turn back. The problem was the two that I were working for didn't go through the proper training and that sort of thing. And so I realized I couldn't stop doing it, but I needed to do it ethically. So I somehow fell into my own business. And then it wasn't long after that, maybe 6 months with my doors open, where Jennifer gives me a call and she was really struggling.
So I was suffering from anxiety. I was working at Boulder Community Health as a sonographer, and I was working 10 to 12-hour days, and I was taking call. And kiddo in competitive sports, so if anybody has any kids, and you just don't stop. And so I was on that treadmill of call and 10-hour days and baseball every weekend, and it was just, I was miserable. And I was having panic attacks, and I was taking a lot of sleeping pills to go to sleep because that was the only relief I would have.
And I didn't even I mean, this is not Jennifer, this is, she was my happy butterfly hippie sister who, all of a sudden it was like, who am I talking to? She was just
a shell. I was a shell, a burnt out shell. And Jill kept saying for years, she was out in Alabama doing this, you need to come try it. And to be honest, our entire family thought it was snake oil. Like, best friend, what has Jill gotten herself into now? And she kept saying,
because I don't settle.
No, I know. She keeps it interesting for all of us. But she kept saying, come out here. And I don't know. I had no interest in going to Alabama.
Well, plus your life was just so crazy.
Yeah, there was no time and we had no money. Like, it was just crazy. And so back in March of 23, Brandon, my husband? Yes. I love him dearly. We're best friends. But soon to be ex-husband, but I do love him dearly. He found out that he had melanoma. And our uncle, when he was 33, died of melanoma. So for me, this was a death sentence. And that spiraled me to the point I can't even tell you. And I couldn't take the medications and work at the same time. I was just a mess. So Jill says, come out here, I can help you. So I got on a plane with my good friend Jessica, and we went to Alabama. And the very first time I saw Jill, we went to her office, and there were probably 15 firefighters, paramedics, first responders. I don't know. It looked like an emergency was happening outside her office. Later, find out it's the Alabama first responders, and they all went to treatments together, who
One of the supervisors had started, and it was such I mean, they kept me alive for a long time, but, and that's where I realized my heart and soul was in first responders, you know, but the supervisor had started was such a huge change for her that she allowed them all to come even on duty, you know, and so my office constantly had ambulances out front, and you know, I can't imagine what my neighbors thought.
Yeah, and I was really interested in learning more about what she was doing, but I didn't really trust. You know, she was saying, "Oh yeah, I can take care of your anxiety," and I'm just at this point
with no medication.
With no medications, and 2 times a week I'm having panic attacks. You know, and telling Brandon, "Take me to the hospital this time because this time I'm really dying." You know, and so I sat down at that chair and she put on the leads for the first time, and I cried the entire time. Like, it was just this huge relief. I was 10 out of 10 anxiety. It brought me down to 2 out of 10. I haven't had, from that moment back in March of 23, I haven't had a panic attack. We joke that I'm chasing butterflies now, when before I just couldn't. Like, sometimes I lean a little bit too far, like, did I pay that toll bill? Do I care?
You're still able to get through life.
Yeah, no, I pay it.